Say what you want about the virus, but it's been a doozy for economies.
It goes without saying that individuals, companies, and even countries have been absolutely wrecked by the economic situation.
April 2020 in particular was a rough month for Richard Branson and the Virgin Group. The charismatic and instantly recognizable founder, Sir Richard Branson, is once again a lightning rod for many people's woes.
In an unprecedented move, Perth Airport officials have barricaded 4 Virgin Australian Airlines airplanes from taking off.
They used heavy machinery and vehicles to block them in and place liens on the aircraft. According to 7 News, the airline owes $16 million to the airport for airfield terminal and use charges. Qantas, the other major Australian airline, came out in defense of Virgin Australia and is quoted as saying, "Even by Perth Airport standards, this is extraordinary behavior." Taking a little bit of a deeper look into this, it actually makes sense, seeing as Qantas owes a substantial sum, 25% more at $20 million than even Virgin Airlines does to Perth. Knowing everything that has been going wrong for these airlines recently, the fact that Perth Airport is pushing so hard to recover their debts may seem odd, but let's dig into it a little bit. And according to a late 2018 article in perthnow, the airfield has been planning some ambitious upgrades to multiple terminals and runways, which would update the aging infrastructure and increase the capacity of their air traffic hub, which is estimated to grow by as much as 50% for international travelers. This hasn't been without an equally hefty price tag though, with preliminary cost estimates clocking in between $1.5 and $2 billion.
This is coming on the heels of an announcement that Virgin Airlines is going into voluntary administration.
Voluntary administration, according to ACIC, is, quote, designed to resolve a company's future direction quickly, and if that isn't possible, to save the company or its business. The aim is to administer the affairs of the company in a way that results in a better return to creditors than they would have received if the company had been instead placed straight into liquidation. A mechanism for achieving these aims is a deed of the company arrangement. This comes shortly after word that Sir Richard Branson, the owner of VA, had failed to secure a loan from the Australian government. Branson had publicized a letter to the employees of Virgin Australia bemoaning the lack of federal government support for Virgin Australia, unlike the situation in many other countries.
In most countries, federal governments have stepped in this unprecedented crisis for aviation to help their airlines. Sadly, that has not happened in Australia. This is not the end for Virgin Australia and its unique culture.
Additionally, representatives from the company had stated that a team of administrators has taken over to recapitalize the business and ensure it emerges in a stronger financial situation on the other side of the COVID-19 crisis.
A statement most likely referring to the voluntary administrative proceedings. Administrators said that although there are no plans yet for layoffs, 80% of Virgin Australia's employees aren't working, and the airline has cut back 95% of its flights, according to CNN.com. The CNN article went on to state that the, quote, intent is to seek to sell the majority, if not all, of the business as one. So far, more than 10 parties have already expressed an interest in taking a stake, and the company expects to have a better sense of its future over approximately the next 2 months, he added. However, not everyone is sympathetic to Branson's plight. Many people have been citing Branson's billionaire status and famous private island as immoral in the face of the hardships facing the thousands of his employees. As most of his wealth is tied up in his companies and other assets, much like other prominent billionaires, his assets are fairly illiquid and thus not easy to use for expenses like payroll, although he did offer to use his private island, Necker Island, as collateral on a government loan. As independent.co.uk reminds us, even Branson himself came out against the British government's bailout of British Airways in the aftermath of the last recession in 08-09, stating that the government shouldn't step in to bail them, or British Airways, out. They should let them go bust. And the likes of Virgin Atlantic and others should be able to step into their shoes, take over their slots, and offer a much more cost-effective, in our opinion, better airline, end quote, according to the transcript of a CNBC interview.
It should be noted, however, that these recent financial woes have fallen squarely on the backs of the transportation companies.
This seems to be a public policy-induced lack of demand as opposed to the much different situation last time around. Despite everything going on, Virgin Australia has been hard at work trying to make good PR between toilet paper and food donations, as seen by the frequent posting on the airline's social media accounts. Many well-wishers have turned out in the comments both to show their support for the iconic airline as well as cold criticism for people deriding it. Whether the various companies in the Virgin Group pull out of this one or some of them go under, the following months will be very interesting.